Has never been exposed before. Exotic. The lifestyle of the natives as preserved and practiced by their ancestors. The natives that inhabited the tropical rainforest of Titiwangsa mountain range. The natives that concluded the heart, pulse and colored the sketches of life in Malaysia. Presenting Land of the Natives, Semai. With the tropical rainforest and its geographical location in the heart of Titiwangsa mountain range as its setting, life of the social order that inhabited this semi-native settlement is basically the same as life in other semi-native settlements in Malaysia. Although their lives are secluded from trends of civilization, buried deep in this teenager's heart, still yearning for a novelty in his life. Like any other mornings, he carries his footsteps towards the jungle, hunting food for his family. However, it is his fate to be born as a native boy. Nevertheless, he's proud to be a Semai boy. He passes some brooks and tracks that lead him to the center of the jungle, which is approximately 3 kilometers from his settlement. Without further delay, he heads to the jungle carrying a bamboo blowpipe and a creel. His search has brought him to the heart of the jungle at 900 to 2,100 meters above sea level. This half-nomad Semai tribe inhabited the midst of peninsular Malaysia in Southeast Asia. They are known as a peaceful tribe. Kampung Bakul is located in the Pos Betau district in Kuala Lipis, Pahang. The settlement that leads to the peak of Titiwangsa mountain range is approximately 75 kilometers away from the nearest town, which is the town of Raup, Pahang, Malaysia. There are only about 35 people inhabiting this settlement now.
Banyak kemenum pedih 35 orang Kampung Bakul kemenum. pedih. Jika hidup yang betul pedih hidup 7 dengung. Pedih 4 perih 3. Jadi 7 dengung.
They are the permanent resident of this settlement. The sun is now glaring. He spotted a fallen trunk cultivated with a species of wild mushrooms. He doesn't dawdle and swiftly collects them. As for him, that will be his sustenance for today. He catches his breath for a while, sitting on the rock by a clear water of a brook. Out of the blue, he catches sight of a plane that he saw a few times previously. The sound of the jet engine plane roaring across the sky pleased his ears. He hurries home. Though he's always besmeared and might never be separated from the jungle, deep down in his heart, he's thinking about those in the outside world that live a much better life than his. Meanwhile, his parents are preparing the tapioca on open fire. They are in luck, since a bird his father caught the other day is well kept and still fresh, and together they share it by the fire. On his way home, the thought of leaving the obsolete and isolated life in the jungle and live a life like the pilot on the plane he saw before lingers in his mind. The economy of the minority Semai tribe in this area is rather dissimilar because they can't really depend on the jungle due to the scarcity of wild animals and plants. Since it's tough to hunt for wild animals, most of the settlers now have turned to wild plants and fruits as snacks, aside from their dry paddy field on the slopes as main food. Lady Luck is not on both Bahlai and Batin Bahkalo's side that morning.
Obat mau jumpa ni umum sembuh anu si masa si kelas mainan ni masih hot.
They've been in the jungle the whole day, but they only managed to get a few herbal plants to make traditional remedies. This is the herbal plant known as Tongkat Ali or Grevia umbellata, which is able to treat some sickness. He then spotted a betel palm that offers loads of betel nut. Without delay, Bahlai climbs the tall betel palm without any climbing harness. His safety is not the first priority as long as the half-ripe betel nuts are in his hands. Betel nut is another main snack for them, aside from tapioca, which is very popular among this native tribe. Once the betel nuts are safely brought down, he hurriedly heads home. At home, they enjoy the betel nuts together right away. It's not surprising though if we get to see how they eat these betel nuts as if they are some kind of nuts or grains. It's now rather hard for them to hunt for wild animals. As for the wild animals, they're actually afraid to be in the semai area, and their instinct tells them that being in the area means eventually their lives would be at the end of a blowpipe and they would be served on a dinner table. Yet, it's different for these two squirrels. Their lives are special because they've been taken care of by Wak Sunti since they were babies. This is the convergence of two God's creatures as a result of a friendship and intimacy between human and animals that coexist in the jungle of Titiwangsa mountain range in this settlement. They're not just taken care of. Instead, the animal, which is part of the diet of the Semai community, are breastfed as if they are her own children. The bright afternoon suddenly turned cloudy and the rain is pouring. To these children, it's a blessing because they could play gaily, although sometimes their parents are not pleased with what they're doing. At night, after the rain has stopped, the moon is showing itself from the end of a twig, showering the jungle with its light. It is on a night like this that many wild animals will come out to hunt for food, particularly this porcupine. Being a nocturnal, they will come out from their burrows to look for food. The morning sun's glowing from behind the leaves. Life in the settlement continues as any other day. However, a few men are disappointed by what happened after the rain stopped last night. It's customary that the chief of the Semai tribe, Batin Bahkalo, goes to his paddy field accompanied by his wife and friends. They'll have to cross some brooks and follow some tracks in order to get there. Batin Bahkalo's instinct is indeed accurate. He sort of knew about the rat's encroachment. His instincts were right when he saw traces of the rats. He wasted no time and started to hunt the rats one by one and place them in a bamboo container. It's not an easy task to grab hold of the rats, but with patience and experience, no rats were spared to save his rice bowl. The hunt for rats brought them to his dry paddy field. He is baffled as there are lots of grasshoppers destroying his paddy field. In frustration, they started to catch the grasshoppers one by one and carefully place them in another bamboo container so that they will not die. Just like the wild boar, they also believe that all these animals and insects will continue to destroy their crops if they are mistreated. He is disappointed to find that some of his crops have been destroyed. A part of his paddy field has been trodden by something. Corns which he grew next to the paddy crops were also destroyed. The evidence clearly shows that wild boars and rats were the culprits. Apart from that, the thriving-looking crops earlier also withered as if the sap has been sucked. It appears that the damages done by the grasshoppers, rats and wild boars played a big part to their dry paddy field. It's a very serious matter to them, and something must be done immediately, or else their crops will be wiped out completely. It will be a big loss, and their families might starve.
Jerat je mai paning.
Pagar ibel baru isi.
The surroundings look serene. A few children are playing in their lawns. After having a discussion among themselves that morning, Bah Jahir and a few men decided to capture the wild boar alive. They head into the jungle without further ado. The first wild boar to be captured must be a dominant male of the wild boar group. It has to be captured alive. Together, they build a trap from bamboo, which is easily available. It has to be a sturdy trap, since the wild boar is very strong. Once the trap is completed, they carefully place it in the wild boar trail. It has to be covered with leaves and branches so that it's invisible to the cunning wild boar. A string made of climbing plant is used to close the trap. Bah Jahir and a few men waits patiently not far away. The burning sun is making their throats dry. There's no sign of the wild boar thus far. Bah Jahir and his men almost gave up after waiting for hours, as there's no sign of the wild boar at all. Suddenly, one of them grabs the string in his hand while the others rush to the trap. This is the wild boar they've been waiting for, now trapped and looking terrified. Bah Jahir and his men captured the wild boar without worrying about their own safety. They team up to apprehend the wild boar and carry it home alive. They assume this is the head of the wild boar. It is a practice to keep the first wild boar they captured so that the rest of the wild boars will not destroy their crops again.
Imunalas mong isyarat sejak daripada main mana. Kalau menharde bila balas hiwek dak ataupun jibeh senrai ji uigok. Jibah senra, uigok, lepas bila bihuk, terus hicak. Pek boleh hikot, hi perdat, hi gas, hi wes, pek tentu arah.
Batin Bahkalo is at war with grasshoppers and rats and tries to collect them as many as possible. Once they have collected enough grasshoppers and rats in the bamboo, a ritual is performed so that they will never destroy their crops again. The afternoon sun is shining brightly. They instantly build a shelter to get some shade from the burning sun. The shelter is made of bamboo and a type of herbal leaves. In the meantime, the women are waiting patiently whilst grooming each other's hair. They have to start a fire, but how? Batin Bahkalo takes a few small granite stones from the river and cautiously put in the fissure of the dried bamboo. This will require a great deal of patience. By using a machete, he scratches the granite a few times until it sparks. Something similar to cotton is used to ignite the sparks to set the fire. This is the outcome. Sparks from the scratches of the machete and granite got the fire going. Without delaying another second, his wife and children took out a few rats and roasted them.
Prog de dua inong. Nanu hibot hiperdat. Hica nanu hibot it baru hian hidol ma satu tempat ma darat hidol baru hiap. Hi ampun hi maaf kerana biperdik cakna. Jadi bila bijuk prog lai mak ituan, lai mak ketua bipasal. Bicerita indra hadis mayap. Kadang-kadang joy, kadang kurang bicak.
Once the rat is roasted, its guts is removed. They're savoring the rats now. It's even more appetizing if served together with grasshoppers. To them, this is one way to pay respects to other creatures that are considered harmful by others, but not to this Semai tribe. As time goes by, life in the Semai community goes on as usual. Harvesting season is over, which normally takes place in June when the dry paddy field crops turn golden in color. Bah Ale and his wife, Wat Sene, are busy pounding the paddy as provisions for their family. At the same time, Nayan is seen wandering around. He's been walking through the tracks but couldn't find anything to eat. His stomach is growling with hunger. His steps stop swiftly. His eyes are set on Ba Ali pounding the paddy. It's been some time since Nayan last had rice. His empty stomach needs to be filled. After finishing pounding the paddy, his wife placed the rice at their balcony. Nayan quickly takes the rice so that it can be cooked and to keep him going for another day. However, luck is not on his side as his action is witnessed by Ba Ali's son Eol. Nayan is then taken to see Batin Bakalo to be judged. Meanwhile, they are hanging about and are having a great time at Batin Bakalo's house. The men are having a blowpipe competition while the children and the others are keenly observing them. As commonly practiced in every competition, Batin Bakalo will be the judge. This is the only activity for them during their spare time. Their activity is immediately disrupted as Eol rushed to them with Nayan. Nayan's action trying to steal their rice is brought to Batin Bakalo's attention. Batin Bakalo is very upset. A decision was made at that very afternoon.
Kalau tidak nak input, bigo bikelakar sini budak hasan oi. Dia kan orang hol ada chip ot, chip yuk, bagus, tadi head, ot. Bigo masih chip yuk.
As a punishment, Nayan is asked to leave the settlement. News about Bahlai going to hold a ceremony called Sewang quickly spread. In the early afternoon, the women and children were already heading to the river. This ceremony is much awaited by them and is the only kind of entertainment they could afford. If they're lucky, it's here that they might be meeting their future better half. They have no soap nor shampoo. As any other day, banana shoots will be used to replace the soap to clean their bodies or to wash their clothes. Whilst having a bath and washing clothes, they find time to catch some small fish which can be served for the family before attending the Sewang ceremony. It's a lovely night. The full moon complements the night. The sound of bamboo musical instruments being played can be heard from afar to indicate that Sewang dance is in progress. This time, Sewang is being held to celebrate the end of paddy harvesting season. Though the Semai community in this area do not have a religion and are animistic, they idolize their ancestors' spirits in hope that their hard work and good behavior will be rewarded by their ancestors. Sewang continues. The enchanting voices of the main and background singers break the peace of the night. They are absorbed in the dance. In the darkness of the night, this young man is eager to attend the Sewang. Though it's quite a distance from his home, he's very motivated to wait through the night with only a torch to light his way. He rushes through the track just because of Sewang. And as if his heart is being called by someone to be there. He's very excited about it, although he's been to various Sewang before. A few children are watching it from outside the house. Meanwhile, in the house, a few of them are playing their traditional musical instruments. Even Balai is playing the bamboo flute that he made himself, followed by the women with their bamboo instruments strumming along with the beat. Redwan's presence at the ceremony is nothing unusual. In fact, he's just like any other guests there. He's only been sitting in his spot for a short while when his eyes caught a glimpse of a figure so fascinating that it made the event more interesting to watch. Their eyes met, and it's the second time when their eyes locked with each other. A smile is given, and a smile is returned. At the same time, deep inside, they are wondering if they are meant for each other. Without realizing it, the Sewang protracted till past midnight. The following morning, the young lady is eager to go to the river for a bath. Well, that's not the only intention she has in mind. She's thinking about something more meaningful to her life. It wasn't any less to these young men too. They had promised to meet by the river.
Bila mong kerdor kral uban juk imula kral ed bicip ma kerdor bicip bibahluh kerdor biok, bian kayu atau bian lauk macam pacor. Pacor ke atau lauk cabai.
The clear and fast-flowing water of the river does not only present breathtaking scenery, but it has also become the witness of their love. A promise has been sealed.
Terus le jarak hu. Terus jarak hu. Nama keraling ed. Bi semai-eng bi hut madaging. Bi hut madaging bi hon ma-eng. Bi hon ma-eng bi 3 kali bi hon ing. Lepas ed. Terus le jar jigjak jar hak hu. Lepas jar jigjak jar bedbed jar ing hu ma kral ed. Lepas ed kral ed pun bi hu ma ing sama le jar hak hu. Kral ed bi hu ma ing pun hu ma kral.
What's fascinating about this tribe is that they are very strict with their customs and traditions, especially in matters concerning marriage. When a man wishes to take a woman as his wife, he must have the nerve to face any challenges given by the woman's parents. Beforehand, he must come to meet them, and the event is witnessed by the Tok Batin or chief. Then, the couple will be given a grace period to adjust themselves with each other. This process is called courtship and will be carried out for 3 consecutive days. The next morning, Reduan has to leave the house to go to the river as usual. They have to present something as a symbol of their love to their forthcoming marriage.
Kena langgakup lamuna embelo kedor. Kedor na jar bahlu. Kedor bi terbu ma en terbu ma kedor. Lepas itu jar bersiap, jar berjanji untuk janjek.
Kala or maser, a type of freshwater fish, can be found at the deepest part of the river. They are the king of all fishes and are very good in sensing danger. But the human intelligence and experience surpasses everything. As soon as he's sure of the location, Reduan starts to dive cautiously. After a few attempts, he manages to catch a rather big fish. Now he has this fish to be presented to his bride. He's heading back confidently. The creel, containing petai or Pakio spaciosi, and the fish he caught is given to his bride-to-be. The wind blows gently in the night. The bride's father is sitting by the fire, accompanied by Batin Bahkalo and Tok Setin, who is the chief assistant, in front of their house. On the right, Reduan is sitting facing his future in-laws and Batin Bahkalo. Witnessed by the bride's parents in front of the fire, they are finally announced as husband and wife after presenting some money totaling 31 ringgit and 25 cents as a gift or dowry to his bride and 21 ringgit and 50 cents to the chief as part of their traditional custom. As they normally do, Red One is at the fire with his father-in-law and the chief. This time, they will catch more fish to be brought home without using any modern equipment. There goes the wheel of life of the Semai community from then till now, which will be inherited by their future generations.